going on, YouTube? Happy Easter. It is March 31st, 2024. Let's talk about the Eclipse. Let's talk about metal prices. Let's talk about a lot. Alright, so Silver Wolverine did a fantastic video, I believe, yesterday. I will link that in the description below. Well done, sir. I couldn't agree more. You know, every day I turn around and I see things like, well, the Eclipse, you know, could spell big disaster, blah, blah, blah. These people, and God love them. First of all, speaking about God, if you're one of those people that doesn't have any faith whatsoever and doesn't realize a greater force created you, you have a very, very big ego in my opinion, and I can't hang with that. Second of all, you know, dark and ominous times ahead. The eclipse could mean, I mean, pick your poison, this, that, or the other. Catastrophic events, or, and hear me out, I know this sounds wild, or it could be that on April 8th, the moon is going to block the sun from hitting the earth for a short time, as it has many times over, and the world will go on. Your taxes will be paid. Life will go on. Just a theory. Not a financial advisor, don't have a crystal ball. None of this is financial advice, and I can't see in the future, but just what I'm thinking. You know, and then you have the pumper channel saying things like, silver to the moon. Well, okay, build your stack to the moon, but understand the price will never go to the moon. You know, and these people making these claims, I see in the comment section, after they've been doing it long enough, a lot of people are there saying, and I don't go by those channels very often. A lot of times I will go to the video, hit pause, and read the comments because I know what the person's going to say, because they've been saying it over and over. There are some newer people doing the same thing, newer to that realm of things. And I read the comments, and a lot of people will leave comments saying, oh yeah, I've been hearing this from you for 10 years, blah, blah, blah. Then why do you give them your time? You know, I heard someone say the other day, you're going to be sadly mistaken. Silver's going to do this, that, and the other because of inflation. And look, that is a bad way to spend your life. When you are wasting so much time and energy trying to hope something into fruition, you lose sight. You lose sight of reality. Now look, some things are clearly a conspiracy. The health crisis that happened a few years ago, that was obvious. That was an obvious sham from the rip, okay? I saw that from day one. Now, some things are not a conspiracy, and there are so many people that think everything is a friggin' conspiracy. It makes us all look bad. You know, these pumper channels that say, oh, you better get all in on silver. If you have gold, sell it to get silver. It's going to 500 an ounce, 2,000 an ounce. You are doing such a disservice to people. And something I notice about these channels, every single one of them that I can think of, never show you silver, and if they do, they don't show you much. What do we got? We got 20, 40, 60, 80, 120, 120 ounces of silver, a tenth of an ounce of gold, and a tenth of an ounce of platinum here. That is more, and this is just a drop in the bucket. This is nothing. If you watch my channel, you know I'm constantly stacking. That is more than channels like that show throughout their whole career creating content. In a lot of, if not all of the cases. Now, why is that important? Well, if somebody is selling you a narrative, okay, and that narrative they're selling you isn't backed up, the walk isn't, you know, the walk isn't backing up the talk, you should really question their motives. Are they doing it because they sell metals? Are they doing it because they just want to grow a channel and get views, and they don't care who takes the bait and makes horrible decisions for their financial world based on what, you know, the snake oil this person is selling? I have a lot of silver. You all know that. And I posted something. Now, do I regret it? Nope. Am I selling it? Absolutely not. Am I still stacking it? Yeah, I am. Not as much as before. I'm shifting more into gold and platinum now. But I have many, 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 many ounces of silver, and I think that was a great move. I'm just shifting my strategy a little bit because I looked at the gold chart. It was actually in my last community tab. I really, really encourage you to go look at that. I learned a lot. After the Reagan administration, because that was an exception, everything we were told that, precious metals don't do well with a conservative in office, and you can argue the conservatability of Bush and even Trump, in my opinion, and that's fine, but the masses are going to go along with, okay, the person in office is the Republican candidate, therefore they're the conservative. And I looked at the gold prices and the history, and it's kind of interesting, and I really think you should go look at that. The link is in the last community tab I posted. That whole narrative of gold doesn't do well with a conservative in office has been proven untrue since when Reagan left. In fact, now it's done really well under Sleepy Joe, because he's just that bad. But it did very well under Trump. It did not phenomenal under Clinton. It did pretty decent under Bush. My point is this. Markets don't make as much sense as they used to. The stock market is not connected to the economy like it used to be. Metals don't always behave like historically they would under certain conditions. And could it all change? Could the music stop? Sure. Is it likely? Possibly, yeah. Does anyone know when that's going to happen? No. What we must do is we must realize things don't make the sense they used to make. What was good logic 30, 40 years ago just doesn't apply all the time anymore. It just doesn't seem to be the same. And that's not just in metals. That's not just in stocks. I mean, it's real estate markets. It's across the board. So keep in mind when someone is selling you a narrative of anything in any asset class, keep in mind that if they're going to say that narrative, they need to show you that that's what they're doing themselves to be, in my opinion, considered legitimate. Number two, you have to ask what that person has to gain from that. I mean, I am extremely silver heavy. I love silver. It is my favorite precious metal. But the way it performs is probably my least favorite out of gold, platinum, and silver. And I have to be realistic about that. I have to realize that silver is a great thing to have. Silver is a wonderful and very useful, diverse metal. But markets don't seem to appreciate it the way that I do. So while stacking silver is a great idea, I have to take the blinders off and take my emotion out of it and use logic and history, both older and more recent, and see what's going on and adjust my strategy and do what makes more sense. Now again, that's coming from a guy who has a lot of silver and who's going to hold that silver. So if you compare that with somebody who doesn't show you an ounce, 10 ounces, 100 ounces over their whole career of selling snake oil, it really says a lot to me. And I really hope these people are held accountable someday for steering people down the wrong path. And if you listen to them, it's always right around the corner, it's always coming. Well, what is always coming and never arrives? It's an old riddle, and the answer is tomorrow. And with these people, the collapse is always coming. The failure is always coming. The black swan event is always coming. And it's easy to say, oh, well, it's coming, it just hasn't happened yet, every day. And when people buy into that and support that, it blows my mind. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of life, because time is a very valuable asset that we don't get a whole lot of. So that's my 2 cents. Happy Easter. Hit me up on Rumble, link below. Check out Wolverine. If you're looking to get into platinum for a good price point, use my Money Metals link at no cost to you. Full disclosure, I do get a little bit from them, but it is one of the best places to buy platinum. It's who I use almost exclusively for platinum. And whatever you do, have a great Easter, stay safe, and keep stacking.